A data scientist's job is to turn raw data into a useful information. And to be a successful data scientist, you must be able to manipulate and extract data from databases using the SQL programming language. Now for this course, you'll be using a database containing information on almost 5,000 films. Now let's begin with what is SQL. It stands for Structured Query Language. It is a language for interacting with data stored in something called a relational database. Now, a relational database can be thought of as a collection of tables. A table is simply a collection of rows and columns, similar to a spreadsheet. Now, in SQL, you can select data from a table using a select statement. And in this query, select and from are called keywords. To begin, we must first set up scheme and importing data. Click on the scheme area, then you will see create scheme, and in this new scheme we will replace it into films. You just have to apply it. And once we're done, you just have to click to finish. As you can see now in the left side of the application, there is a new scheme now. You just have to right click on the table, then click Table Data Import Wizard. Then we'll just have to browse the file that we need. You just have to click Next, Next. And now we just have to wait until it's complete. Now it is finished. Also, we need to upload the other CSV, so please do not forget to upload the other files needed for this course. So let's try select ID from films. When we run it or execute the code, you will see a lot of ID numbers here. Now, always remember to include a semicolon at the end of your query because this will tell SQL where the end of your query is. You can use commas to separate the column names in a table to choose several columns. Now, in this query, for example, we will extract two columns from the persons table, name and birthday. If you want to select all the unique values from a column, you can use the distinct keyword. The count function lets you do this by returning the number of rows in one or more columns. It is also common to combine count with distinct to count the number of distinct values in a column. Next, we will discuss about the filtering rows. In this chapter, you will learn how to use basic comparison operators, combine multiple criteria, match pattern syntax, and much more. Now, in SQL, the where keyword allows you to filter based on both text and numeric values in a table. Now, these are the few different comparison operators you can use with, such as equal, not equal, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. Now always remember that the where clause can also be used to filter text results, such as names or countries. Next, we will discuss about the where and. Often, you will want to select data based on multiple conditions. You can build up your where queries by combining multiple conditions with the and keyword. Now always remember that you need to specify the column name separately for every and condition. Now, what if you want to select rows based on multiple conditions where some, but not all, of the conditions need to be met? For this, SQL has the OR operator. Next is the between clause. Similar to the where clause, the between clause can be used with multiple and or operators. So you can build up your queries and make them even more powerful. Where is a very useful for filtering results. However, if you want to filter based on many conditions, where can get unwieldy. So, we'll try this. Let us try to enter the in operator. The in operator allows you to specify multiple values in a where clause, making it easier and quicker to specify multiple or conditions. Next, in SQL, null represents a missing or unknown value. You can check for null values using the expression is null. Now, as you can see, is null is useful when combined with where to figure out what data you are missing. Sometimes, you will want to filter out missing values so you only get results which are not null. And to do this, you can use the is not null operator. Next is like and not like. Now, the where clause can be used to filter text data. However, you've only been able to filter by specifying the exact text you are interested in. In the real world, often you will want to search for a pattern rather than a specific text string. Now in SQL, the like operator can be used in a where clause to search for a pattern in a column. And to accomplish this, you use something called a wildcard or a placeholder for some other values. Next, we will learn about the aggregate functions. In this chapter, it teaches you how to use aggregate functions to summarize data and gain useful insights. You will also learn about arithmetic in SQL and how to use aliases to make your results more readable. Often, you will want to perform some calculations on the data in a database. SQL will provide a few functions called aggregate functions to help you out with this. The example shown can also be used when getting the average, minimum, maximum, or any function that you can think of. Now let us proceed with combining aggregate functions with where. Aggregate functions can be combined with the where clause to gain further insights from your data. Next, in addition to using aggregate functions, you can perform basic arithmetic symbols like using addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. SQL assumes that if you divide an integer by an integer, you want to get an integer back. So be careful when dividing. If you want more precision when dividing, you can add decimal places to your numbers so that you will get the desired answer when you divide something. Next, SQL allows you to do something called aliasing. Now, aliasing simply means you assign a temporary name to something. To alias, you use the as keyword or as keyword. Next, we'll discuss about the sorting and grouping. In this chapter, it provides a brief introduction to sorting and grouping your result, and you will learn how to sort and group your results to gain further insight. Now, in SQL, the order by keyword is used to sort results in ascending or descending order according to the values of one or more columns. Now, by default, order by will sort in ascending order. If you want to sort the results in descending order, you can use the DESC keyword. Order by can also be used to sort on multiple columns. It will sort by the first column specified, then sort by the next, then the next, and so on. Now you know how to sort results. Often you'll need to aggregate results. For example, you might want to count the number of male and female employees in your company. Here, what you want is to group all the males together and count them, and group all the females together and count them. So in SQL, group by allows you to group a result by one or more columns. Commonly, group by is used with aggregate functions like count or max. Note that group by always goes after the from clause. A word of warning. SQL will return an error if you try to select a field that is not in your group by clause without using it to calculate some kind of value about the entire group. Also note that you can combine group by with order by to group your results, calculate something about them, and then order your results. Note also that order by always goes after the group by. Also, make sure to always put the order by clause at the end of your query. You can't sort values that you haven't calculated yet. And in SQL, aggregate functions cannot be used in where clauses. This means if you want to filter based on the result of an aggregate function, you need another way, and that's where the having clause comes in.